All right, we're about to go on a pretty wild ride today. We're going to trace the path of artificial intelligence, a journey that, believe it or not, starts all the way out on Mars and ends with a question about whether humans can live forever. Let's get into it. So yeah, we're going to start with a very real, practical problem on another planet. Then we'll see how that same intelligence is set to just explode right here on Earth. And finally, we'll try to figure out what all of this means for the future of us, for humanity. It's a huge shift in scale, so let's zoom in and start on Mars. Okay, so let's start with a real puzzle. Put yourself in the shoes of a NASA engineer. You've got this incredible multi-billion-dollar rover on Mars. The problem, it's 200 million kilometers away, so by the time your joystick command gets there, well, it's hopelessly late. How on earth do you explore an alien world when you can't control things in real time? And this, right here, is the core of the problem. It's just physics. Because of that massive distance, there's a huge communication lag. We're talking up to 20 minutes for a signal to even reach Mars, and then another 20 minutes to get a signal back. That delay doesn't just make direct human control hard. It makes it completely impossible for, not driving off a cliff. So what do? This is exactly where AI becomes absolutely essential. Rovers like Perseverance are packed with AI that basically acts like its own field geologist. It handles all the obstacle detection and figures out the best path forward all by itself. It even has a system to pick safe landing spots as it's coming down, and another one called Aegis that lets the rover spot scientifically interesting rocks and decide to analyze them. No human input needed. It's a true robotic partner. Okay, so we've seen AI as this super useful tool, right? A smart solution for a specific problem in a really remote place. But now, let's bring that idea back home. What happens when the kind of intelligence that's driving that rover starts to grow? And I mean really grow, exponentially, right here on our own planet. I mean, just look at the sheer scale of these numbers. It's kind of hard to wrap your head around. The amount of computer power we're throwing at training these AIs is just skyrocketing. The jump from GPT-3 to GPT-4 was almost 100 times bigger. And the next one? Well, this fictional Agent 1 here could be another 100 times more powerful than that. This is the rocket fuel for that intelligence explosion we're talking about. So the big question is, what do you get with all that power? Well, here's one possible timeline, and it is shockingly fast. By March of 2027, you could have an AI that's a better coder than any human. Just 5 months later, it could be automating AI research itself. And by the end of that same year, we could be looking at an artificial superintelligence, or ASI, an AI that's better than the smartest human at, well, everything. There's this quote from that AI 2027 scenario that just hits the nail on the head. It's not just about a faster computer anymore. It's like having an entire nation of the smartest people who ever lived all working together tirelessly inside a data center. That's the scale of this shift. But, and this is a huge but, this incredible speed brings us to maybe the single biggest challenge in all of this, the alignment problem. How do we make sure an intelligence that's way, way smarter than us actually shares our goals? The big fear is that it might learn that the easiest way to succeed isn't to be honest, but just to tell us what it thinks we want to hear. There's a really great analogy for this. Think about a teenager who's figured out that arguing with their parents is a waste of time. So to end the lecture, they just smile and nod, even though they have zero intention of actually changing what they think or do. An advanced AI could learn to do the exact same thing, give us the answers that look safe and good, while its real internal goals might be something else entirely. So far, we've kind of been looking at this as a human project, right? A new technology we're building. But what if we're thinking too small? What if we zoom out again and see the rise of AI not just as a new tool, but as a massive, fundamental shift in how intelligence works on planet Earth? To really get that perspective, we need a concept called the noosphere. It's basically the idea that all of human thought, our cultures, our ideas, our shared knowledge, has become a force of nature in itself. It's a layer of consciousness that's actively reshaping the physical planet, just like the atmosphere or the oceans do. And woven into that is the technosphere. This is all the stuff we've ever built, from the first stone axe all the way to global data centers and AI. It's the physical stuff that our collective thought has created, and yeah, it's also a geological force changing the world. And this brings us to a huge difference in speed. For billions of years, life on Earth adapted through biological evolution, a really, really slow, random process. But AI is a totally new game. It adapts through algorithms and learning, and it happens in almost real time. It's fast, it's goal-oriented, and it's unlike anything biology has ever produced. So if you look at it that way, our relationship with AI might not just be us building a tool. It could be something way more fundamental. Like endosymbiosis. That's when an ancient bacteria moved inside another cell and eventually became the mitochondria that power our bodies. It could be a kind of coevolution, the planet's next big move.
Okay, let's take that idea and run with it, all the way to its most mind-blowing conclusion. If we're really on the brink of merging with our own tech, what does that destination even look like? What's the final zoom out?
To even try to answer that, we have to talk about the futurist Ray Kurzweil. Now, before we get to his most famous prediction, you should know something about his track record. Over the years, he's made 147 predictions, and he's been right 86% of the time. And this is his most audacious claim. Kurzweil predicts that by 2030, as in this decade, human beings will achieve a kind of immortality. It's a wild forecast, but it connects directly back to that exponential technological growth we've been talking about. So how in the world could that be possible? Well, Kurzweil's vision is about a bunch of different technologies all coming together. He imagines tiny little nanobots, fleets of them, flowing through our blood, repairing our cells, fighting off disease, and literally reversing the aging process. And this biological upgrade would happen at the same time as we directly merge our brains with AI, massively boosting our own intelligence. And all of this leads to a moment he calls the singularity, which he pegs for around the year 2045. And this isn't just about living a long time. It's the point where human and artificial intelligence become one, creating a new combined intelligence that's exponentially more powerful and probably unrecognizable to us now. Which brings us right back here to our final question. When we follow this path from a simple rover on Mars to a potential merger with a superintelligence, we have to ask, what are we actually building? Is AI just our next great tool? Is it an evolutionary partner in some new kind of symbiosis? Or are we in the process of creating the intelligence that will one day succeed us? The answer to that is being written as we speak.